Hi everyone, it's Nancy from Jack and Link. We hand make wooden and dry erase educational resources for all ages. Okay, so what I wanted to do today is I wanted to go through a picture book and how I've been using it to explore it deeper. And I don't have picture book aged kids. I don't have like toddlers or anything. I have a second grader and a fourth grader. And while they still enjoy picture books, it is not somebody's very first thought when they come to mind on exploring character elements and story elements and stuff is to get a picture book, right? Our first initial reaction is, we're going to find a novel, we're going to read it, and then we're going to go and dissect it and explore it. But what a lot of people don't realize is that you can do the exact same thing with a picture book. Not only does it take less time, but you can really extend it out and go deep on all the things that you are trying to focus on in your language arts, like figurative language, plot elements, story elements, character analysis, all the things. So that's what I'm going to show you how I use this book this week. So the very first thing that we did is we read the book. And what I love about picture books is that it's an easy read. You can still get the same punch as you can with exploring literary elements and figurative language and things like that without having to read a big novel. I'm not saying big novels aren't important. They are in the development of the story, in the development of a character from beginning to end. You can really go deep and do all the things, but you can also do the same thing in picture books. So what we did is we read this book, and it's a short and easy read, takes you 5 to 10 minutes. And we discussed major characters, minor characters, and the setting. So the boys took out their Jack and Link mini writables, mice and whales, because we have them as our main characters. And I just so happened to have those mini writables on hand. So we went and we did that, explored major, minor characters, and then we discussed the different settings in the book. The next thing we did is we took out our Jack and Link dry erase Somebody Wanted But So Then. If you're not familiar with this is a graphic organizer. It's really awesome to hone in and to reinforce and practice summarization. So you can really, especially for those kids that love to include detail, like unnecessary detail. So you ask them to summarize a book and they go on and on and on, and then they include details that aren't that relevant to the storyline. Well, this is really great for that because it really hones in. So what we did with this is they each had one and they each filled this out. So they each summarized this book. And that was it for day one. So day one, we read the book, we discussed it, we discussed the characters, settings, and then we summarized the story. Day two isn't pictured because what they ended up doing is we reviewed the story, and then we reviewed our Somebody Wanted But So Then, and then they took that information and they wrote a paragraph from it. So they literally took this information and in their notebooks, they recopied this and wrote a paragraph on it. So that was it. That's all that we did for day two. And then let me show you day three. Day three ties in with what we've been learning about in our other subjects. So I kind of tied it into what this picture book study that we've been doing. So we've been studying economics, needs versus wants. Well, there's a paragraph in here in the story where he's packing up his stuff on what he's going to take on his long voyage. And he's taking things like yo-yos and playing cards and other things like water, And so we incorporated what we've been learning about in economics, and we wrote down things that would be considered needs and things that would be considered wants, So they had some things here like a compass and needle and thread, and we moved that over to wants, But anyway, so that is how I love incorporating our other subjects in all our other subjects. Hopefully that makes sense. I like cross, what is that phrase? Cross promoting, I don't know, I just love intermixing whenever I get an opportunity like this with my other subjects. So this all kind of tied in together. So this is our dry erase T-chart from Jack and Link. I use it all the time. So this time I used it to categorize the needs versus wants. And then we went over that paragraph in here and just tied it all in. On day 4, we went ahead and we studied figurative language. This is a review for us. We've been studying figurative language for a good 2 or 3 months, where it's the major focus of our study. Because before this, we studied, similes every now and then as they would come up, personification, onomatopoeia as it would come up. But since December, I've made it a daily habit of ours to explore and dive deep into any book that we're reading. And so this was mainly a review for us. I had them go through the book and find examples of figurative language. So we found similes, personification, onomatopoeia, idioms, metaphors, and hyperbole. So Friday looked a little bit different, and this isn't something that I typically do with our picture book studies, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity. So both Amos and Boris are mammals. So I picked mammals, but then I picked another random animal classification to put in there. And if you guys are interested in these printables, let me know in the comments and I'll find it. But there's a whole bunch of cards, and I just randomly selected these cards and I put it up on the chalkboard. I just put the chalkboard into 2 categories: reptiles and mammals. And then they would go up there and they would stick it with some tape up there and put it where it belongs. And of course I had some things in there that weren't either, like fish, just to keep it fresh, right? But that was part 1. And then part 2, they went ahead and they wrote an informative paragraph on either mammals or reptiles, whichever one that they wanted. So with my 4th grader, there was no hand holding. It's something that we have been doing a lot of. So it was just extra practice for him to go ahead and do that. But with my 2nd grader, I did provide some scaffolding, some sentence stems and things like that, because he's just now learning how to write paragraphs, So I went ahead and I did that. But every week it's going to look different for us. So every week I have my basics, like my basics that I definitely always want to hit. I want to hit figurative language, but I may not hit it like this again. Maybe I just use our Jack and Link mini writables. You know what I mean? So I switch it up, the medium in which I present the information, just to keep it fresh, So figurative language is a core thing that we're hitting, as well as all the story elements. So character, setting, plot, theme, and there may be one week where we really focus on characters, and maybe we do some character analysis and we look at, how the character has grown or metamorphosized from the beginning to the end, and maybe we do some character analysis and we say in the beginning this and this and this, and then at the end she changed, so we'll do it. Or maybe we go deeper into themes and we do time, place, so we just really, it switches up, but the core of it remains the same on what I want to accomplish. I want to accomplish writing, I want figurative language, and I want us to explore story elements. And there you go. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you enjoy these type of videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the videos. If you have any questions, leave them down below. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.